Alright, let's get back to our safe house. You guys coming too? Looks that way. Alright, take the ladder. Doesn't really look like it's troll-sized, but we'll see what we can do. Alrighty. Who's this clown? You step inside, and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Paul Amsel. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul Amsel, your team's fixer and landlord. Part deal-maker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. Well then. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in. The grim faces, the hard stares, Iger's fury, Monica's absence, my incontinence, I'm sure. I had a feeling. How did she? His face has gone ashen. He swallows, takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? Let's see. What do we say? Yeah, this guy's a fixer. Maybe it's your fault, dick. The run was a setup. 1 minute she was cracking the safe, the next she was on the ground screaming. I've seen Monica hit black ice before. This was something worse. It was German pop music. Glory nods, her motions robotic and spare. Monica died of a biofeedback-induced stroke. Iger. That's right. Iger thrusts a gloved finger into your chest. What a bitch. And this idiot stood by and let it happen. Let's see. Take this shit from you, you fangy cow. Brush her finger aside. That's bullshit, Iger. You weren't even in the room. No, I wasn't there, and that's exactly the problem. If I'd been in your place, Monica would still be alive and with us. Instead, I left her with you, and now my friend is a corpse in a basement. Yeah. Look, Iger, Meph's right. You weren't stuck in that basement with us. You don't know how things went down in there. So do us all a favor and shut it down, okay? Shut it down? Fuck that. Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that. But you don't have my training. None of you have. Well, she's full of herself. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough, and you're gonna get burned. Well, that's why you save your game whenever you can. Iger turns his focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured all of this out on your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Well, everyone's had a turn with her, just like the knob. Paul Amsel. Enough, Iger. His voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds pass between Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4, 5. Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? How dare you fangy fuck. You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your... Paul Amsel. That is enough. His voice comes out in a roar and his fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Iger, you and Meph Hunter can have it out later, but I've had enough. Flip the desk, Paul! We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he'd led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This was supposed to be a milk run, and we definitely didn't get any milk. Payback isn't the only reason why we need to find him. We saw something back there, something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume we're all still in danger. He pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed, and to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we're dealing with. Let us review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. Well, I had a rye sandwich and a bottle of rye. And what else? Monica lived long enough to say a name. Fierschwing. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Perhaps Farfignugan. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Firewing. This is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me. This brings back many unpleasant memories. Like that small world ride at Disneyland. Ugh. Glory raises an eyebrow. Firewing? Paul. The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances at Glory. You are far too young to remember her, of course, but for Germans of my generation, the name Fierschwing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, death, and German pop music. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Fierschwing was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Not a morning person. Amsel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There's a haunted look in his eye. Those were dark days. Countless men and women and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation and no end in sight. It was the horror you cannot begin to understand. Think Miley Cyrus on really big speakers. What stopped her? I can't imagine that a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Firewing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course, but it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Vauclair that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire, and crashed down in the radioactive wasteland of the... Socks? Huh. A lot of socks, I guess. This event was called, dun dun dun, Dragonfall. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Vauclair as a hero. Our own Siegfried, not Roy, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was as important an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised I've never heard of it. Those early years of the awakening were traumatic, Iger, not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and the Firewing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all of this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Fierschwing is a bit of historical trivia and nothing more. Perhaps maybe a Rammstein song. All right, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Amsel's voice trembles with frustration. No, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall is ancient history. Fierschwing has been dead and gone for 42 years. 42! But there's one thing that I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important, with asterisks on either side. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, and slowly releases it. Again. I will look into this, and I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? Yeah, that big fucking orc. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? He was an older guy, for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. And he had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. That is something. I will see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? Oh, the estate was a front for whatever was going on in the basement. Probably meth. Amsel nods. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. That facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was much more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. And all in secret. The owners, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? That's all we got, bub. That's not much. God damn it, Iger. Such a negative fuck. Amsel nods. His face is drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event. You haven't said a thing about our client yet, Paul. You holding out on us? Amsel shakes his head wearily. No, Meph, I am not holding out. I am tired, and I am frustrated, and I already miss Monica. He takes a moment. I did not think to mention our employer because I did not set up the job. Monica did. His face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take this run, but she assured me it would be a cakewalk. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F state political scene. Fuck state? I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for her cause. Anything for the flux state. He sighs. Sigh. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the flux. Flux yourself. And that was all it took. Sounds like Green Winters is our best lead, then. Yes, most definitely. It is clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably going to rab it. We need to chase him down before that happens. And skin him. So we need information on Green Winters, and we need it fast. There is a man here in the Cruz Bazaar, a Turk named Altug Barakazi. We're going to call him Tug. He owns a little soy calf shop just down the way called Cafe Sezve. This man is also a purveyor of information. I have done business with him from time to time. And you think he would know something about Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Tug. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. Pragmatic. Sounds like it's about time to pay old Tug Job a visit. Yes, tell him I sent you. I will do what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered already, sparse though it may be. Everybody's a fucking critic. Ooh, we got some karma points. 5 karma. Spend that shit. Let's update. Or upgrade, I guess. Pacha! Alright. Spend karma. Clickety clack. Alright. I want to go right back into our weapons so we can hit some shit. Ranged combat is for all the weapons, so I'd say let's just keep increasing the chance to hit right away. Shit. I was going to use up all of them, but fuck it. And we get Overwatch. Overwatch is a skill that when you know people are coming but you don't want to move or use up any of your points, you can basically set guard in a about 90 to 100 degree range, and if somebody walks into that area, boom, free shots. Well, still costs ammo, but you know what I mean. And 1 point left. Let's see, back here in intelligence. Okay, we already have decking 1. Let's add an Esper control. Well, shit. Let's add one in drone control. You never know when we might pick up something. Alright, we used all our points. Confirm. Awesome. So now we need to go meet with old Tug Jobs.